There have been a few phrases where I'm like, oh my god, I never want to hear that again. I love Wattpad. And it's crazy that I say that it's a comfort read because the circumstances of the book are awful. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie if you're new here, and today's video is going to be a reading vlog over a few days in my life. I'm doing this in hopes that I actually do pick up a book and finish it because I feel like I'm in a reading slump. I'm not, because I am reading, but I'm not finding amazing books. Like, I haven't given a book 5 stars in a minute. I just don't really want to pick up a book lately because I cannot stop watching How to Get Away with Murder. So right now I'm actually currently in the middle of 2 books. I've been listening to Catching Fire, the second book in the Hunger Games series, on audiobook, and the narrator, I don't really care for her voice. It's kind of annoying, but I really love listening to this book on audiobook. I don't know, I almost feel like I enjoy it more than reading it, which is crazy. So I've just been listening to that because I've been rereading the Hunger Games since the new movie came out, and I'm 66% through with that. The other book I'm reading right now, it's called Rule by Jay Crownover. I've actually never heard anybody talk about this book before. I picked this up maybe in the springtime of 2023 at Target because I wanted to pick a book that I've never heard anybody talk about or that I've never seen. And I read the back of this and I was like, oh, it's giving After vibes, which I love that book. The movies are awful, but I was obsessed with that book when I was younger, so I got it. But I haven't picked it up since then, and now I'm in a mood for like a trashy, easy romance to read, and this was just calling my name. And also, I really want to get through my physical TBR. In 2024, I need to stop buying books, which I feel like I've done, and I need to read the books I already have. So this is helping. I'm 75 pages into this, and I'm not loving it so far. There's hardly any dialogue, so I'm gonna need that to change. I need these characters to interact and fall in love. I was going to mark that I was reading this on my Goodreads, so I went to search for it. And first of all, this is a very popular book. It must have been popular when I was in 8th grade, so maybe I was too young for it then. There are 100,000 reviews. This has 4.11 stars, and I'm not going to say I'm currently reading it because this is what the cover looks like. Why? Why do authors do that? Yeah, I hate when that happens, when it's just a picture of a man. This book is giving Wattpad in the best way. I love Wattpad. I will update you guys later when I read a little bit more of it. Look how cute these glasses are. My bestie Alex got them for me. They're from Target. I always drink my coffee in my cute little glass cups, and so I'm so excited to have these. These are so fun. A fun cup with a fun drink. Caffeine-free Diet Coke is a good way to end a night or start the day, whatever. Did I say that this book was a good girl, bad boy trope? I don't know if I did, but that's one of the main reasons why I picked this up, because I eat that trope up every single time, and I'll read 1,000 more books just like it, and I'll pretend to be shocked every time at the ending. Hey guys, it's the next day, same sweatshirt. I actually got a lot of reading done last night. I think I last spoke to the camera around 5:30, but then Sam and I just proceeded to lay around and read and chill. We didn't even make dinner. Like, we don't even know what we were doing yesterday. Yesterday didn't feel real. But I got halfway through with this book and it's pretty good. How do I word this? It's like one of those books you probably read in high school and were obsessed with the same way I was obsessed with After in high school. That's the best way to describe this book. But I also feel like the writing is not horrible. There have been a few phrases where I'm like, oh my god, I never want to hear that again. But other than that, it's pretty entertaining. And I just want a mindless, entertaining romance. So there's that. Oh, I am almost 80% through with the audiobook for Catching Fire, and I think I have just over 2.5 hours left. They do not get to the arena in this book, or like the quarter quell, until literally 70% into the book. And I didn't realize that because it doesn't take them that long in the movie. So that's a difference I noticed. And second, Peeta actually lost his leg at the end of the first book. Like when he had that cut and then Katniss healed it. In the movie, it heals magically. But in the book, once they win the games and they go back to the capital, they have to amputate his leg and then they give him a prosthetic leg. And I did not realize that because I haven't read these books in forever, and they keep mentioning it in this book because it's a setback for him in the games. So that is interesting. I did not realize that because that's not what happens in the movie. Also, I started my reading journal back up. I say back up when I've literally have only used this a few times in the past 2 years. I think I started my reading journal in 2022 because the first few pages are me marking off how many Colleen Hoover books and TJR's books I've read. And I know I read those books when I was getting back into reading. So I'm pretty sure I started this in 2022. I know I started it after I finished A Court of Mist and Fury because I tried to make this whole page of quotes and then I was gonna do a collage of like pictures from the night court and stuff like that, and I just didn't. So this time I have actual prompts and checklists that will make me feel accomplished checking it off and actually keeping up with my reading journal. So I'll show you guys maybe 1 or 2 pages later. I really haven't done much, but I am pretty happy with what I've got so far. So talk to you guys later. Hey guys. So I'm the worst vlogger in the world. I'm just like, I'm constantly doing stuff, but the things that I'm doing for the videos I'm filming isn't exciting. Like I'm reading for all these videos. So do you guys really just want footage of me sitting there reading for 15 minutes in a row sped up? Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'm like, what's the point? Because half the time I'm reading on that bed, on my side, like that. And it's not aesthetic. So that was a rant. That was besides the point. I do have some reading updates for you guys. I finished the audiobook of Catching Fire last night. So good. 5 stars. I can't believe how much I enjoyed that book. Oh, 2 cardinals just flew across my backyard. I love that. That's like a sign that a lost loved one is saying hello. So every time I see one, I think of Toby. So I finished Catching Fire. 5 stars. I loved listening to that audiobook. At first I was hesitant because I didn't like the narrator's voice, but I ended up absolutely loving the book. If you're looking for a good audiobook, definitely check that one out. I'm sure you guys have read the Hunger Games series and I have as well, but it's just so fun to listen to like a comfort book because you're paying attention, but you don't necessarily have to give your full attention to the book because you kind of know what's happening. And it's crazy that I say that it's a comfort read because the circumstances of the book are awful, but nonetheless. And I'm gonna include this quote on the screen that just makes me cry and feel every emotion in the book. It's when Peeta is talking to Katniss when they're in the quarter quell games on the beach and he gives her the pearl and he says, "If I lose you, I have no one." And he's like, "My family doesn't need me, but your family depends on you. Like nobody needs me, you have to live." And she's like, "I need you." Okay, cut the cameras, I'm done. So yeah, love that book. This morning when I woke up, instead of going on my phone, I had 50 pages of Rule left and I liked it. Okay, if I had read this a few years ago, I probably would have rated it higher, maybe like 4.5 stars when I was getting back into reading. But honestly, it's kind of like a 2.5 star book. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody I know because it's like your typical good girl, bad boy story. There's some spice in here. But honestly, what bothered me the whole story was that there wasn't a lot of dialogue. It was just a lot of inner thoughts, and there was nothing really special about their inner thoughts. There was one really cute moment that sometimes when you think of a book, you think of your favorite quote or a moment attached to it, and this book didn't have any of those moments except for one that I was like, okay, that's adorable. I wanted to keep reading it and I wanted to finish it, but it wasn't anything special. So you guys can probably skip this one, or if you're just getting back into reading and just want an easy, mindless read, this is for you. Okay, and this is, I don't know what made me think of this, probably because I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I did have someone ask me this question lately, and I'm not necessarily offended by it because I like my life right now and people are just jealous. I've been getting the question a lot, how do you read so many books in a year? And one, I will say, I do have a job where I work from home, and some weeks the job is very full-time, 40-hour week, and other weeks I feel like it can be part-time. You know, I'm not a teacher where my students need my attention 24/7. I'm not in an office, but even when I did work in office, I would still listen to podcasts, and like there's a way to work audiobooks in or read on your lunch break or stuff like that. But the main reason I get so much reading done is one, audiobooks. I got into audiobooks last year once I realized how easy it was to get audiobooks from the Libby app, which you only need a library card to download the Libby app. And I listen to audiobooks when I'm cooking dinner, when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm going for walks, when I'm working out, like all the time. I'm constantly consuming content. So you may see that I finish a lot of books in a week, and most of the time it's because it's an audiobook. Not all of my books that I post on Goodreads, I'm sitting down and physically reading. I'm multitasking. When I'm working, I can listen to an audiobook. So that's the number one main reason. And second, a lot of people turn to TV or they scroll on their phone a lot longer than I do. Not saying I don't. I love a good TikTok scroll, but instead of picking up my phone, I'll pick up my book. Instead of watching a TV series, I'm reading my book. Although I did say I was addicted to How to Get Away with Murder in this video, that is the case, but other than that, I don't have a normal TV show that I'm watching. Especially since Dancing with the Stars, The Amazing Race, and some of my other favorite shows aren't even on air right now. So there's that, okay? Instead of picking up your phone at the end of the night or first thing in the morning, read a book. Listen to audiobooks. That's my biggest tip, to read more books. If you want to. Like, some people don't want to read all the time, and that's why they're not reading a ton of books. It's just a once in a while thing, but for me, I love to always be consuming content, reading, whatever. Okay, and then next, I don't know what got into me. I think I said in the previous clips that I started my reading journal back up, and I want to show you guys it because I'm obsessed. I started this in like 2022 and it looked really bad, and I just wasn't being patient with it. And this has been really good for me because I'm constantly like just running around. I feel like I'm always in a hurry just because I'm always in a constant state of stress and anxiety. But this, finding layouts I want to draw in here and like searching for ideas on Pinterest has really made me slow down and be patient, because I want this journal to look good for no other reason than for myself. And so I've been super patient in using a pencil and sketching out what I want to do, and then erasing it, going back over it, and then finally using pen or marker to complete it. So this has been really good for me to like slow down, have some patience, and just another thing that will keep me off my phone. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I've been doing in it. And all of these ideas are not original. I've literally copied every single one of these ideas from someone else. I think I've used Katie's Reading, I've used Taylor Tippett's reading journal video, Rachel Catherine, Sarah Crowley, all of those people. I've gotten my ideas from them. Okay, so like I said, I have a few pages that are filled out before this one, but there are so many pages, there's no way I'm going to fill this all up in just 2024. So I think I'm just going to have a cover page for each year and kind of just go from there. So here is this one. I think I want to draw like little books around it and some more doodles, but I just don't exactly know what. So I'm keeping it simple until I'm confident in what I want to do. I just had some craft paper that I cut out the letters and some little hearts. I messed up here and there's some glue on it, so I'm kind of mad about that, but whatever. Next, we have 24 books I want to read in 2024. These are some books I've been wanting to read for a while, some books that are on my physical TBR, and so I just have little check boxes next to it, and I will check it off when I read it this year. This is going to be my books read page. I created little boxes for every month, and in here I just kind of wrote an example of what I want to do, but now I think I want to completely go in a different direction. I'm either going to write how many books I read that month and then split them up into, for example, 3 audiobooks, 4 physical books, 3 from the Kindle, stuff like that. Or I'm thinking I could make a little key down here and color in each square for how many books I've read and color code it. So like if it was on the Kindle, I could do green. If it was an audiobook, I can do yellow, stuff like that. So I haven't decided what exactly I'm going to do, but this will track my books for each month. Next page, I have reading goals and another reading tracker. I have 100 boxes in here, and every time I finish a book, I'm going to color it in. Super simple. And then I have some goals over here: reduce my physical TBR, read 100 books, buy more used books or find a cheaper option, read new releases when they are released. This is because I feel like things get spoiled if I don't read it right away, or it becomes overhyped and then the book is kind of a letdown, and I don't want that to happen. Don't finish books you don't like. Encourage my friends to read. Grow my BookTok and Bookstagram, which are linked down below, so go follow those accounts. 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I feel like I can do it. And then find a new author you love. Of course, I have more goals than that, but those are some I just thought of in the moment. This one I'm obsessed with. These pages are just another way to track what books I've read this year with these cute home library shelves. Every time I finish a book, I'm going to color it in and write the title. And I'm also going to draw books over here on this side too, and some little trinkets. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Then we have this one, which I was really excited when I drew this banner up here and it looked really cute, but I feel like the colors aren't vibing. So this one is kind of a letdown for me. I still think it's cute, but yeah. So basically on these pages, I'm going to include my favorite books of 2024, and I'm either going to write it out, maybe include a few quotes, or print out the cover of the book and glue them in here. This one is my physical TBR, and basically it has every single book on my bookshelves that I haven't read yet that I need to get to. So that way I have a good picture of what I'm working with and how many books I currently have, and maybe this will keep me from buying more books since I have so many that I need to read already. And you may see some that you're like, you've definitely read that before, like Twilight, or I even have 50 Shades of Grey on here, but since I bought them for my bookshelf, I haven't read them yet, and so I think I want to do a little reread of them. And that's all we have so far. This page I kind of planned out. I'm gonna make this my library books checked out page, and so every time I check out a book from the library, I borrow it from the Libby app, I'm gonna have a list and include it on here. Then I saw Rachel Catherine do kind of like a bucket list or bingo even, and she would draw a bunch of squares and write prompts like read a nonfiction book, read a new author, read a book over 800 pages, and she would color it in each time she finished it. So another way to set some goals. And then over here I just wrote January, because each month I'm going to do a page dedicated to the books I read that month, with maybe some more statistics with pages read or what type of genres I read this month, stuff like that. Maybe include pictures of the books, quotes, whatever. Oh, and then I have a DNF graveyard. So I saw Rachel Catherine do this. I might make a little tombstone and write the book that I did not finish on this page. So that's all I have so far. I'm definitely going to make more prompts. I'm having so much fun with it. And this is a bullet journal that I got from Barnes & Noble. I'm sure they have the exact same one. Also, these are the markers I use. I also got these from Barnes & Noble, and I really love them. It's got a fine tip on one end and almost like a felt marker tip on the other end. And they've got good color variety. Really like these. Hey guys, this is me from the future, because one of my clips was really zoomed in and I didn't realize it. But what I was saying in that clip is the next book I'm going to read is Down the Drain by Julia Fox, because it's one of the like 10 books I have borrowed from the Libby app right now, and all of my books became available on the Libby app at the same time, as they always do, and I kept doing the deliver later feature, and then it told me I couldn't do that anymore. So I tried to delay all of these books so I could read them at a time that worked better for me, since I'm more of a mood reader, and it wouldn't let me. I'll show you all the books I have out right now, and I don't think I'm gonna read any of them except the Julia Fox one. because I hear she is such an interesting person, and I don't know much about her except from a few clips that I've seen on TikTok that are hilarious. So hopefully I get to that one, and let me show you what's on my Libby app right now. Okay, so I can skip the line and get Britney Spears' memoir, but I'm not ready for that one yet. I've got Too Late by Colleen Hoover, Love Light Farms, this is the one I was talking about by Julia Fox. The Grace Year, I really want to read this one before I have to return it too. It sounds so interesting. I'm currently listening to Mockingjay. I don't know if I said that. This is the final book in the Hunger Games, and I also have it out from the library right now, and I'm 14% into it. Might as well finish the series while I have it. Then I have Behind Her Eyes. I think I heard this recently from somebody and wanted to listen to it before I watched the Netflix show, but thrillers are kind of scary to listen to. I don't know if I've listened to a thriller before, so I don't know about that. Then I have There's Someone Inside Your House, The 7-Year Slip. Everybody loves this, but there's nothing calling it to me right now. It is on my 2024 TBR, so eventually I'll get to it, but I'm not feeling it right now. No Exit, One Dark Window. I don't think I'm ever going to read this because Destiny Sidwell just read it for one of her videos, and she said, if you want romantasy, this is not the book for you. So I feel like I only really like romance fantasy. And I'm glad she said that. Otherwise, I probably would have wasted my time on it since it is a really hyped up book. I'm sure it's good, but I just can tell now it's not for me. And that's all. Okay, sorry I'm the worst vlogger ever, but I think I'm gonna end this video here and get back to reading. Oh, I mentioned I was gonna read that Julia Fox book, but I'm also going to start God of Fury, which is for another video that will hopefully be up soon. I have been saying this for my last few videos, but I'm currently filming like a dark romance reading vlog, and it's just not working out for me. So maybe one day you guys will see that footage. Make sure you subscribe so that way you can be notified when that video is ready, and like this video if you enjoyed it and if you don't hate me. Other than that, I hope you guys will stick along because I love making these YouTube videos every week, and I am obsessed with reading and the booktube community. So see you guys next time. Bye.